If you're looking to move to the Chattanooga area, it's very likely that you aren't actually looking to move to Chattanooga proper, as in the downtown area. Realistically, most people end up moving to a suburb of the city, and so today we're going to talk about what I consider to be 5 of the most popular picks. If you are new here, I'm Whitney and I'm a local realtor in the Chattanooga area, and this list is created based on what has been most popular for my relocation buyers. Each area offers something totally different, and there is of course no right or wrong choice. It really just all depends on what you want out of your community. For each suburb, we'll talk commute times, price ranges, lifestyle vibes, pros and cons, and maybe even some insider's tips. Stick around because I know I'm gonna get some pushback on one of the communities. First up is Hixson. This tends to be the most common request that I get from relocation buyers, and my guess is that it is due to the proximity to downtown while still having its own suburb community. So for some frame of reference, when you're thinking about location and proximity, everything here is going to be described for the most part in relation to I-75, which is the main interstate, and the Tennessee River because they both run through the center of Chattanooga. So Hixson is located on the west side of the Tennessee River and I-75 north of downtown. For your commute time, depending on how far into Hixson you are, you're looking at probably 15 to 20 minute drive into downtown. Just like anywhere else though, you can expect super heavy traffic during peak travel hours, so make sure you're watching traffic patterns here, especially if you're several miles away from Highway 153. Amenity-wise, this is a very self-sufficient suburb area. Highway 153 runs through the center of Hixson and will cover a majority of your shopping and restaurants. You can find all of the basic chain restaurants and stores here. A few things that make Hixson a really desirable area is the proximity to the water and marinas for people who are using their boats. And as I already mentioned, it's really conveniently located to get into downtown without being too close and running into those downtown prices. I would say one of the main cons of Hixson though is that there are really only 2 ways in and out. One is going to require going over the bridge across the river, and if there is a wreck or any sort of traffic, you could be sitting there for quite a while. Your other option is to go through Red Bank. This works really well for downtown commuters, but it is not very convenient if you're looking to go anywhere east of Hixson. Median price point here is going to be $390 to $415 on average, so it falls most closely in line with the overall median price point in Chattanooga, which hovers between $350 and $400. I want to give a quick disclaimer on the median price points. These vary from month to month based on closed sales and can also largely vary depending on exactly which data you're looking at. Typically, you want to look at the median versus the average to get something less skewed, but I don't always agree that the median gives you a true picture of what people are actually spending. So these figures that I have here are coming from both the median and the average sold prices within the last 12 months. Moving on to suburb number 2, Ooltewah. Let's start this one off with a quick pronunciation lesson because it always trips people up if they're relocating here. Your T is going to be more of a D, and let's just forget that the L is even there. So Ooltewah. As far as location goes, Ooltewah will be right off of I-75 at exit 11. Yes, it is just one exit, and there are a lot of those here. It's going to be right between East Brainerd and Cleveland, and both of those we're going to talk about in just a few minutes. It has a quieter, more suburban feel. There's a lot of new subdivisions, there's a golf community, and really easy access to Volkswagen and Amazon distribution centers. Both of these are really big employers for the area, so that can draw some attraction. Your commute time is going to be a little longer here, around 30 minutes to downtown, depending on how far you are to the interstate. However, traffic definitely clogs up here at peak hours, so again, keep that in mind when you plan to leave. Median price point in the area is going to be around $450 to $500, so you are looking a little higher than that area median. One big pro of the area though is Cambridge Square, which is a great mix of business, retail, and dining right off of one of the main roads, Lee Highway. There is actually real estate in the back of the development as well. This development opened back in 2013 and has been a huge source of attraction and entertainment for Ooltewah locals. The square also has several live events such as free live music every single week during the warmer weather times, and they have a lot of expos and vendor markets. Collegedale has its own attractions such as Little Debbie Park and the Common with outdoor events and gathering spaces. So this is going to be a great area for you if you want a slightly smaller suburb that still has some great amenities. Suburb number 3 is East Brainerd. Location here is going to be southeast of downtown, about a 20 to 25 minute drive to downtown. Again, this all just really depends on the traffic. The main corridors here are going to be Gun Barrel and East Brainerd Road, and they both connect directly to I-75, which makes it super convenient in theory, but this can also be extremely congested during rush hour. To me, East Brainerd is the definition of suburban convenience. Hamilton Place Mall is one of the centerpieces, and there are countless big box stores, chain restaurants, or pretty much anything you need within a 10-minute radius. There are also multiple parks in the area, making it not only convenient, but still outdoor recreation friendly. You can also pretty easily live outside of the congested area and still be within 10 to 15 minutes of everything. This is a really ideal spot if you want everything at your fingertips. Price points here are going to be similar to Hixson, ranging between $395 and $425 for your averages. Next up is Cleveland. Let me preface this by saying locals are going to roll their eyes at me for calling this a suburb of Chattanooga, but this is my list, so I don't really care. Bradley County borders Hamilton County, and in my opinion, counting Cleveland as a suburb of Chattanooga is no different than when people suggest Dunlap to be a western suburb. Neither of these are in Hamilton County, but they're still neighboring counties and reasonable for living in if you're going to be commuting to the next town over. Tons of people live in Cleveland and work in Chattanooga, including myself. Cleveland has grown significantly over the last 10 years, and the amount of amenities is honestly more than Ooltewah has at this point because it's further north, so it's a lot more likely to have its own branch of things. I find Cleveland to be very similarly set up to Hixson, just on a much smaller scale. It's super self-sufficient on its own, but of course close enough to more things down the road in East Brainerd if you want it. Remember, I mentioned Ooltewah is right between East Brainerd and Cleveland, so that gives you kind of some frame of reference for where it is along I-75. Median price point is a little lower here at $320 to $350 for your averages, so it does have the potential to be cheaper than its Hamilton County counterparts. The biggest downfall, however, is going to be the commute if you do work in downtown Chattanooga. Yes, it's right off of I-75, about 10 miles north of Ooltewah, so depending on where you are, you're looking at realistically 40-45 minutes, probably a lot longer during rush hour. Plan for an hour. It is not uncommon to find yourself looking for an alternate route to avoid a wreck on the interstate. And last but not least is choice number 5, Signal Mountain. This is a highly desired area because of the mountain views, the scenic overlooks, prime outdoor living with a small town feel, and still being pretty close to the city. Signal Mountain is going to sit about 8 miles north of downtown, but honestly a lot of your commute time is really just going up or down the mountain. Commutes are going to average 20-25 minutes, and expect a winding road down into the valley. Price point is really your main kicker here, with the median range being between $665 and $710, so it is well above the other areas. Amenity-wise, frankly, it's pretty lacking. People really like this area primarily for the privacy a lot more than the convenience. There are a few basic fast food stops, some local stores, and you do have Pruitt's Grocery, but other than that, you're gonna have to go back down the mountain to even find a Walmart. One big con of this area is gonna be the drive. Not everyone likes to drive up and down the mountain every day, and it can be really inconvenient during any heavy rainstorms or snow because the roads in and out can get shut down, and they do get shut down frequently. Anytime someone is looking to move to the Chattanooga area and mentions Signal Mountain as a top choice, I strongly suggest we drive up and down the different access roads in person before landing on that area. It is beautiful and so many people love it. If you're coming from a much flatter terrain, the drive up can be startling and may make you change your mind. So basically, if you can get past the mountain roads and the price point works, it can be a great option for someone who wants to feel more secluded and would prefer to be further away from the prime shopping area traffic. So tell me what you think about these choices as the top 5 suburbs. There are of course several other areas here that may appeal to you if you're looking to relocate. These just happen to be the ones that most of my buyers tend to lean towards the most frequently. If you are thinking of relocating and want more information on any of these, please reach out to me. All of my contact information is below in the description. I would be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can stay up to date on more local insights in the Chattanooga and Cleveland, Tennessee areas.